Hey guys, it's Terry from Waving My Wand, and today I have a project for Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L, and I'm going to be using their adhesive sheets. And the technique that I'm going to be doing today is a mottled foil look on this fall background. And if you can see a little bit of that gold shimmer, that's what I'm going for. And we're going to actually be crumpling foil, and we're going to be crumpling adhesive sheets today. So if you've never done any crumpling of those two, it's just going to be a fun little unique project. So I've just got a little small craft mat here, and I've got some watercolor paper. And if you're not interested in the coloring portion of this project, feel free to fast forward. But I am going to create a fall looking background using some distress oxides today. And what I have is the vintage photo, and I also have the spiced marmalade. And so I'm just going to put a couple impressions onto my craft mat, spritz with some water, and then I'm going to just drench my watercolor paper through my watery concoction here. And I'll also be drying this in between, so let's go ahead and dry right now. And you want to dry in between each coloring. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and finish this off camera just to speed up the process. I'll be right back. Alright, so I have finished drying that, and if you have a little bit of damp spots left over, you can just blot it with a paper towel. I could go ahead and lay down a second layer of this vintage photo ink, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the spiced marmalade for my fallish colors. And as of the writing of this YouTube video, or I should say recording, and as of the writing of my blog post, it's August, and I don't know about you, but I'm so ready for fall to get here. I'm not a summer girl. Fall has always been my favorite time of year, and so I can hardly wait. But now I'm going to mix in a little bit of the, just drench my paper, my watercolor paper, into the spiced marmalade and get some of that in there good. And I'm going to go ahead and dry this off camera, and I shall be right back. Alright, next I'm going to take a little bit of water and spritz it into my hand and then just sprinkle it onto my project. I could layer some more colors, but just for the sake of time and just to speed this little project along, I'm not going to add more colors today. But I am using the Oxide, the Distress Oxide inks from Ranger, and these are specifically designed to layer colors upon other colors. So now I'm blotting my paper, and it's giving a little bit of a splattered effect. And I'm going to dry it really quick with my heat tool, just to make sure before I apply my foil that everything is good and dry. And I'm looking at my camera, and these colors are looking very, very bright on camera, almost yellowish. But actually, I think my lighting is just a little bit bright. Actually, the colors are not as yellow in person. These are more orangish and more brownish. So I just think it's my lighting in here. It's making it look a little bit more yellow right in here, but it's not really. Just wanted to pass that along. Okay, next what we're going to do. Now I have this really pretty leaf stamp that I'm going to use today. This is from Unity Stamps, and it is from this set right here called Full of Fall. And it's just got a really unique design on it, so I'm going to be stamping onto this colored background in just a bit. But first we want to go ahead and do our foiling. So what I've done is I've taken a sheet out of my packet here of adhesive sheets, and I don't want to use the whole sheet up. I'm just going to use a portion of this sheet. So I'm just going to cut about this much off. And the thing I like about these adhesive sheets is there's a little peel off spot right well, on the other side. Before I peel that off, I'm sorry, I'm out of the shot. Do you see that? Where you can peel it right here at the top. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and crumple this. Crumple it. Just keep on crumpling. Crumple, crumple, crumple. All right, and I'm going to open it up and look at it. If it's not crumpled enough, I'm going to do it some more. And this is just me experimenting. I tried this earlier and I liked the effect. What I'm going for is a stringy foil effect on here. And if you could see this in person and give this a try yourself, you're going to be amazed at how cool it looks. So I've crumpled up my foil really well, and now I'm going to go ahead and peel it off and discard the non-sticky lining. And so I'm going to just kind of, and your hands are going to get sticky here, I'm just going to kind of turn it and try to bunch it up as best I can without getting too much sticky on my hands. And I'm just going to drop some adhesive onto the paper. A little bit here and there. And I'm seeing it already. Can you see the shininess? That is where the adhesive is coming off on. So this is a way of foiling onto a project and just getting a very subtle effect. You're using the crumpled adhesive, and if you're not getting as much stickiness on here as you would like, go ahead and crumple another piece of adhesive. I've just got a very small bit, and as you can see, I'm getting a good bit on my fingers as well. So what I'm going to do next is look for more sticky parts on here. And there's one. There's a little bit of stickiness right here. So I'm going to find a spot to put that. And so we're just kind of randomly trying to spread out the sticky parts. I don't want to completely foil this whole background. I just want a little bit of a foiled effect. All right, so we're going to go ahead and foil this now. And I've already crumpled my gold foil. I'm using the gold foil from the Creative Embellishment Kit. And it comes with 5 different colors of foil: gold, silver, blue, red, and green, kind of primary colors, and metallics. And I'm just laying down the crumpled foil, and it's going to attach to the splotches of adhesive. Like I said, if we don't have as much as we want on there, we can always go back and add more. And then just rip it off. And you can see the subtle bits of foil on there. Super, super pretty. Now, I think I do want a little bit more on here. I added a little bit more to this project earlier, and it might be a little hard to see because I've added my stamped image already. But it was so, so pretty. And yeah, I think I do want just a touch bit more of this mottled foil effect on here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up another piece of another section of my adhesive sheet. And let's see, we'll do about this much. And I'm telling you, I hoard every little bit of my adhesive sheets, every bit, because they're great for like when you want to do small embellishments and you like maybe little circles, or using your hole puncher. Just put a little bit of those small bits of embellish or adhesive sheet onto your designer paper, and you can make some really cute, easy foiled or adhesive and foiled bits. So I've crumpled my adhesive sheet, and once again I'm going to peel off this, dispose of the lining, and we'll add just a little bit more adhesive onto the background. Almost done. And I've gotten a little bit more on here, and so I think I like that a little bit better. Oops, I got the wrong side. It's kind of hard to tell where the foil or the adhesive on my fingers begins and where the adhesive on the foil sheet ends. Okay, so that's that. Let me go ahead and lay down a little bit more of this crumpled foil where I added some more of those little bits. And like I said, I'm just going for a very subtle foiling effect here. All right, I have used this crumpled foil. Oh, that's so pretty. I've used this crumpled foil several times already. Can you see that? That is so gorgeous. Let's see if I can sharpen that focus. So pretty. And we're going to stamp on top of that today, so let's get ready to do that now. I'm going to use my little mini Misty, and it's super convenient for my desktop. I've got some bar magnets here that I have covered up with my washi tape from Paper House Productions. It's just so much easier to grab these bar magnets when they're wrapped in washi tape. And so I'm going to go ahead and lay down my, well, like that. There you go. All right, now we're going to put our magnets down. This is going to hold our watercolor paper in place and get the stamp ready. See, I want to stamp this where the foil is actually going to be on the actual leaf itself. So I'm going to line this up in such a way that I get a good bit of foiling onto my leaf. So I think that'll work right about there. And earlier I used some more distress. Well, actually, I used my my Distress Oxide. No, it's not Oxide, just the Distress ink in, but I don't see where I put it. It's brushed corduroy. Just brushed corduroy Distress ink is what I used for my leaf outline. But I can't decide if I want to use that again, or do I want to use black just as a change of pace. So what do I do? I mean, gosh, I don't know. I guess I better stick with what I originally planned. And that would require me finding my ink pad, because I don't know where I laid it. It's around here somewhere. Hang on a second. Alrighty, I found it. Here we go. Okay. So, let's go ahead and ink her up. And I may go ahead and do some other things with this as well, just to give it a little more definition when I stamp it. I always like to press it really good. The great thing about using a stamp positioner is you can continue to stamp over and over, because your stamp stays in place on your lid here. It never moves. And so you can just get multiple impressions without ruining your paper. So if you've been wondering what a stamp positioner does, that's what it does. It allows you to get re-inking over and over by staying in the same position. So if you don't get a really good impression of ink the first time you stamp, you can go back and do it as many times as you need. So, and it's really hard for you to see this, so I think I'm going to go ahead and switch to black ink. And I've got some hybrid ink here that I like to use from LDRS Creative. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what, I better go ahead and clean off my stamp first. And feel free to fast forward through all my rambling. And that's not going to hurt my feelings one bit. And if you're wondering what I'm using to clean my stamp, I've got a stamp chamois that I got recently, but I haven't even taken it out of the package yet. I have these easy clean wipes that I use for my hands from Crafters Essentials, and they're also pretty great for cleaning stamps. So that's what that is. Alright, so now we're ready to go with the black hybrid ink. And I think it'll give a better impression that you can see, so we're going to do that. And the hybrid ink also dries really, really quickly, and so I love that about it. And you can also use watercolors with it or alcohol inks. That's why they call it hybrid. Huh, something on there. Okay. Okay, that's a little better. And you can see how pretty that is. A little something I thought I might do just for the why not, just because I can, is to pretty up this leaf just a little bit with some additional colors. So I'm going to actually take markers and use them directly on the stamp itself. So I'm going to run this brown distress marker up along the edges of the leaf lines and just give it a little more enhanced definition just because I feel like it. You know, you can do what you want. Okay. There we go. There's another spot there. There. And I think that's good. There's one. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and press again. Alright, see, that gave it even more definition and in another color. Let's see. I might take a little bit of red and just see what that does. Add a little bit of red on here. Just color in a little bit here and there. Let's just take a look and see what that looks like before we do anything else. It's pretty faint, so it's not, you know, going to stand out and mess up your project too much. So I think I'm going to do that in a few other little spots. I like to color directly on my stamps. Alright, let's add that now. And this is all going to blend in with our foiling that we've done and just make a really, really pretty little leaf that I've already got a background here that I'm going to use. And I think I'm going to fussy cut this leaf and just lay it on top of that other card. And I might do some additional embellishing as well. I've got a white gel pen here, and I might add some little things on that as well. So this is basically how you do this mottled foiling technique, and the coloring tips were just the little bonus that I threw in there. But I hope you'll give it a try, and I'll have the full project on the Scrapbook Adhesives blog. Let's just go to scrapbook-adhesives.com and you can find the blog, and you can also find my blog at wavingmywand.blogspot.com and follow me on social media. I'm everywhere as @wavingmywand. I'll have the full project finished for you to view later. Thanks so much for stopping by.